Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I mentioned in a previous video that my son last year actually, had caught hand, foot and mouth disease. Have you ever heard of it? Well, I've heard of it, but I've never had to deal with it. So this is what happened. First of all, just in case you don't know, hand, foot and mouth disease is an infection. It is very common, especially with kids. It's easy to catch, very contagious. There is no cure for it. You just have to wait it out. It can take a week. In my case, it took about 2 weeks. Yay, fun. I can't go anywhere. I can't do anything but drop my daughter off to school and come back home. So, how is it caught? Like I just said, it's very contagious. Anywhere kids go together, so daycare to cesspool, school, even play dates, parks, anywhere that a lot of kids go together, is a chance for your kids to catch it. You can prevent it, of course, to a certain extent because kids touch everything and they are really quick. So sometimes it just happens. I was lucky enough I never had to deal with my first daughter, and that's why one day my son comes and he shows me his hand with a little tiny bump in it, and I'm like, well, it's probably gonna go away, so go play. The next day he comes with another one and he shows me two, and I'm like, are they multiplying? What is this thing? Anyways, I bring it up to my mom because, you know, she has experience. So, and she's like, well, it was probably the heat because it was the beginning of summer, you know, change of weather, whatever. But I never seen what they look like before, right? So I was completely clueless. And then the day after that, he comes with more than 3. I'm like, okay, we probably should go to the doctor now. What raised the flags for me is when I gave him something to eat and he told me that his tongue was hurting. I'm like, oh no. So then I went to the doctor and sure enough, she just showed up and she saw his hands, like, yep, hand, foot and mouth disease. I'm like, no. And we walked through a few things that we can do, and mind you, I just mentioned it's so contagious. I have 2 other kids in the house that don't have it. My newborn, I didn't really want to have her go through that, right? So how do I keep my son, who's all over everyone else, always loves hugs and kisses, to transfer his kind disease to the other kids? Well, let me tell you how I kept it from spreading. First of all, I washed my son's hand about 500 times a day. Every little thing that he did, I washed his hands. One other little trick, I gave him a lime or a lemon to hold all day. So it's round, so it's a fun thing for him to do. Roll it all day, roll it, and that way hopefully keep the thing from spreading. And I guess it worked because my other daughters didn't catch it. No one else in the house had it. So yay! Didn't have to deal with this more than once. That said, I had scheduled play dates. Obviously, I canceled them all because I don't want to spread the germs. I know he has it, so I'm not gonna go and play dates and have other kids have that too, right? It's just common decency. Same thing for anything. If I know my kids is contagious or with anything, I would just won't bring him places. Just come home, let's treat this, and, you know, make sure you're okay before you go meet other people. Typical signs of that infection is usually starts with a fever. Well, my son didn't have a fever. He was just fine. He was running around, no problem. The only thing he had was the bumps in his head, and you can see what it looks like. By the time I got to the doctor that day, he was also starting to have the same bumps on the sole of his feet. She saw it automatically. She's like, yep, that's what it is. And my first question is, how do I get rid of it? And of course she's like, you don't. So you just have to be patient and practice a lot of hygiene, like a lot of showers, a lot of hand washing for you, for the kid, for the other kids, for everybody else in the household. Cleaning common surfaces like the kitchen counter, the toys. Pay a lot of attention to those things because, you know, that's where the kids play. My son was not just sitting on the couch lethargic because he was sick. He didn't have a fever, so he was his active usual self, just with bumps in his head. He didn't really want to eat. With any of my kids, they don't eat, something's wrong. So he didn't want to eat a lot of things. So soft foods are usually a go-to in that when that happens. So soup. I also gave him some honey for the mouth. I don't know if that did anything. Just I feel like honey is very soothing. Also, because my daughter is a school-age kid, I notified the school, and of course they send out their widespread emails. I also let the daycare that Dave was at that day, of course they took their necessary precautions so they don't spread out to other kids. I forgot to mention, if your kid is in pain for the fever and the pain, that because those blisters, they can hurt, just regular ibuprofen or acetaminophen, so Tylenol or Advil, any of those would work to help soothe the pain. So yeah, hand, foot and mouth disease, people, it's real, it's out there. Alright, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that was helpful. I will see you later. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the like button. Leave me some comments, feedback. I would love to hear you. Have you ever dealt with that? Take care of yourself. Bye!